Mr. Patil, this one thing I want to ask you about Manohar Parrikar. You keep mentioning him. He was your hostel mate in IIT IIT Bombay?
We are same timers from IIT,
Right.
not hostel mates.
Right.
And it was, I would say, an accidental and a chance meet.
On campus or off?
On campus. And I was that time in my master's first year, MTech.
Right.
And Parrikar that time was in his final year.
Right.
In
BTech.
he's a 78 BTech.
Right.
And he was in third year.
Right.
When the first time 77 election, there was
The student election?
a non-Congress government
Right.
at Delhi.
Post the emergency. Right.
Post emergency
Yeah.
in first election that
The
happened.
Janta
government.
Yeah.
Now Janta government was put enormous might
Right.
by every opposition party who suffered during election,
Right.
during the emergency.
Yes.
And RSS was backing up anybody who was
Right.
congressman. Subramanya Swamy,
Yeah.
the IIT Delhi professor,
Right.
was the one who was a candidate from Mumbai North East.
Yes.
And
The parliamentary constituency.
parliamentary
Lok Sabha.
constituency,
Yeah.
Lok Sabha constituency. And this is a constituency the IIT campus fell in.
Right.
Now, since Parrikar from very young days was an RSS, I would say, virtually a sevak,
Yes.
he was the one who started hostel by hostel a kind of a campaign for Subramanya Swamy.
Right.
And I must tell you that more than out of that constituency, probably 95-98% votes
Right.
went to Subramanya Swamy. So he had won
Right.
with a thumping majority, among the largest majorities of 77 election, which was virtually a record.
Right.
He and George Fernandez, who was still in jail
Yes.
and had amazing majority. So this was the first time all of us as students realized that here's someone who's called Manohar Parrikar.
Right.
And he was not yet a graduate. 2 years later, 1.5 years later, when he graduated, obviously at some point in time, you broke off. We reconnected when 85 onwards, we used to work with DRDO as Larsen Toubro. And he used to do work with DRDO as a hydraulics company that he had founded.
Right.
He used to be a supplier to some of the DRDO labs in Pune as a vendor to DRDO.
Right. He was an MSME. He had a MSME.
He had an MSME. He had a
Right.
small hydraulics company.
Right.
And this was an era in which by then DRDO had already graduated us because we used to be involved in top level big programs. So I used to sit on the dais
Right.
in the vendors meet or the partners meet, as DRDO used to call it. And a lot of discussion used to happen. Fast forward 2014, and he was the one who proposed Prime Minister Modi's name
Right.
in Goa. And as the stars had it, BJP won. And when it was announced that he is going to be the defense minister, his office got in touch.
With you.
Okay, why don't you come and talk?
Right.
Like there's a story similar to our Nitin's story.
Right.
So two of us, like Nitin was, I was asked. I said, yes, I want to meet the minister because every minister I used to meet anyway as part of my business. But here was a case where the minister was saying that I need to see. So first time I met him was, he said, you are there well seasoned. You know the every part of this ministry, including what all happens here. I need the right kind of inputs in terms of how to make changes.
Right.
And that everything doesn't move. There's a one department where, like you said very rightly, on the strategic side we have every capability, but why on the tactical side we have no capability, and we are only TOT bound nation as of that day.
Right.
And this change was through enormous amount of subsequent discussions. In a way, he picked up on the Vajra story which we are talking.
Right.
Because Vajra became an amazing success. It's the first program in India. Because we had built those 17 major systems in India as
Right.
first protos, which went into trial. And Army's trial document, we did not have one single observation. Forget non-conformity. No Indian acquisition program in the past had 100% requirements met,
Right.
which happened with Vajra.
With the Vajra.
Now, since we had started producing,
Right.
he got into a mindset at that point in time that this is the right model to convert buy global into buy Indian.
Right.
So, in effect, it was a program which was as if run as Indian, but it was not IDDM.
It was actually supposed to be just an import, an off-the-shelf
It is supposed to be off-the-shelf
Right.
import, and my statement was, if you had imported, you would have paid 100% FERV.
Right.
I'm saving 50% FERV to you, but doing 83% indigenization in terms of part count.
And what a boost to the
And this is
local
what,
economy.
this is where one of the genesis behind that strategic partnership,
Right.
that you can take a technology transfer from somebody,
Right.
but don't blindly follow it.
Right.
Incidentally, the model which Manohar Parrikar and we had all discussed was, on the phase 1 of selection,
Mhm.
you run it open competition,
Right.
free for anybody to participate, but not select
Right.
on price. There's no price bid.
Right.
Select only on capabilities. The best man that you select from Indian industry
Mhm.
then is picked up as a strategic partner. He becomes a
Right.
strategic partner that day.
Mhm.
And thereafter, the government and the strategic partner sits and negotiates with any foreign player. And the joke we used to have is, after I'm selected for
Yes.
the submarines as a partner, we will sit on one side of the table and we'll have the 6 people who were shortlisted
Right.
for the 75.
So it's like a Swayamvar kind of model.
Absolutely. Every of the Swayamvar guy comes in, you
Right.
decide
Candidate.
what will you do,
Right.
how much indigenization you will do, how much of TOT you will transfer,
Right.
will complete TOT come, will source codes come, what
Right.
all.
Right.
Every of those capabilities which would have actually leapfrogged us into taking it to
Yeah,
next level.
yeah.
Incidentally, the way it was implemented after Parrikar moved out
Yeah.
was completely different.
Right. The strategic
So,
partnership.
strategic partnership model actually didn't keep anything of the strategic in quotes,
Model. Right.
and it became an acquisition program.
Right.
Only thing which is not there in a normal acquisition program is you do so many of those processes before.
Right.
Here it followed the process of EOI, and after EOI straight away into an RFP.
Right.
And then shortlisted 2 companies were only allowed to bid.
Right.
While the game earlier was, let anybody and everybody come.
Yes.
Phase 1, no price discussion,
Right.
we go ahead and do.
Right.
And the reason behind the most competent person being selected, that is where you actually can do the lowest cost.
Right.
Because maximum indigenization, leveraging what was done in the strategic program, would have happened.
Right.
Now, the moment I was doing 80% plus, obviously that 80% plus would mean you don't require that much of input from the foreigner.
Right.
Now, if the foreigner is saying, one guy says, I will only give you 50, another says 60, another
Right,
70, then it is cheaper for us to buy from the guy who is 70, even if for the balance
Yes,
30 he
yes.
charges me more.
Right.
Because when you proliferate and do more numbers, it will turn out to be cheaper.
Right.
Now, it's as simple a model which was evolved, but unfortunately the program changed in its shape. And why probably the model didn't really move far too much into multiple other programs. 2, 1, this is not acceptable and was changed for variety of bureaucratic resistance. And second part was, genuinely capabilities were getting developed by then. When it was launched, we know SP was launched in 17.
Yeah.
By 17, I had started the submarine design myself.
Right. Right. The midget.
So we were
submarine.
building,
Yes.
midget, and
Right.
within 5 years, we would have anyway
You would
reached
have scaled
midget
it.
plus.
Yes.
So by 22, we would have anyway reached into that stage.
Right.
So today we are anyway having our own program
But we've lost
going
so
on.
many years in the process.
That's true, but the scenario is this is exactly where that trust partnership.
Right.
Now look at the same thing for what was done, as we talked in case of, call it the strategic submarine, or for that matter the BrahMos program,
Yes.
where there was somebody who said, let's do it together, succeed, you do everything
Right.
thereafter.
Right.
That's not the model.
Right. And then you just had the Prime Minister, in fact, speak in Parliament where he said that while talking about Operation Sindoor, that the private sector's involvement in defense has opened up so many new avenues for innovation, not just the existing programs.
It's moved leaps and bounds.
It is.
I mean,
It's a fascinating.
all of us have seen it from the days of, I use this word, I was in the 12th plan review committee.
Right.
With for the Ministry of Defence's 12th plan, as well as Space Department of Space plan. And during that period, what one had seen was very clear. Private sector was here for crumbs.
Right.
In spite of 10 years having gone from that first RFP,
Right.
we were getting once in a while few contracts. Bulk of my contracts, except 2-3, which were
Right.
products that we did together with DRDO, except for those programs, all of them were buy global programs.
Right.
So it was not only Vajra which we had won as buy global. There are few other programs which we won as buy global.
Right.
And my track record as a company, of course, in that was, if we participated in a buy global, and between Tata's and us, we used to say that if we participate in a buy global,
Yes.
no global player can win in
Right.
India.
Right.
So this had been
That's
achieved.
the kind of confidence
And
that you
this
had.
is exactly what prompted Manohar Parrikar to bring in 2016 DPP,
Right.
that IDDM.
Right.
That there's a capability in the country. To begin with, it may be few people,
Yes.
but it will grow
It will
if there's a
multiply.
category created.
Right.
And today when you see Prime Minister Modi making this statement,
Yes.
we know more than 70-80% today is
Right.
into Indian basket.
Right. Of course. How
So
the tables have
future
turned.
acquisition
Yes.
is all Indian.
Is all Indian. Right.
And of course, in terms of sheer numbers,
Yes.
today there's nothing which we cannot compete.
Right.
Even within naval, which was our strongest forte.
Yes.
Thereafter, of course, is land become big.
Yes.
And now there's multiple things going into the Air Force as well. But the fact remained that every major ship and a submarine program remained nominated
Right.
till 2017-18.
Right.
But today that's not the case.
That's not the case, and it's such a tragedy we don't have Mr. Parrikar to see
Absolutely.
how far we've come. And
I mean,
how we miss
all
him.
of us as old timers in industry,
Yes.
and of course we had personal and private meetings when it was really known. Last I had met him in Delhi, right in this place, was 2 days before we went to Goa.
Right.
And I said, this is going to truly hurt. And he says, but it's far more important that another state we don't lose.
Right.
But if a man like him stayed for a couple of months more here, we would have seen a different strategic partnership model. Second, what he was truly working at
Yes.
was to make the Make One
Right.
actually happen.
Right.
Make One is a 2008. First RFP is under Make One. Category founded in 2006. Till 2025, we don't have one single program worth its name. Some minor program here and there has
But
happened.
no Make One.
Nothing in Make One. That means Government of India refused to fund private sector for
Right.
20 years.
Right. Make One
Now,
being
from
the program
that background,
where,
when you look at when Prime Minister speaks,
yes.
yes, market is open to private sector.
Yes.
But market is open to private sector for what private sector has done on its own.
On its own, but no government funding.
There's zero government support.
Right.
And this is essentially where, if government decides to do, we can truly leapfrog.
Right.
Because this money can accelerate so much. Today, till 2015, Government of India used to give us tax breaks
Right.
if we did something in R&D.
Right.
This tax break was taken away in 2015 by the same government.
Right.
Incidentally, in terms of policy, I would call it the only regressive policy of this government was to discourage R&D
Right.
in terms of monetary terms.
Right.
Obviously, Ministry of Finance will always say that no, we reduce the tax rate. But tax rate and tax incentive are two completely different things. And today people again and again speak of, no, there's a need of this tax break, because if I'm spending money, which is for strategic reasons for a country to gain something out of, it's not only business for the private sector, it's a capability to a country. And towards that, if you're spending few hundred crores, few thousand crores into R&D, you ought to be given a tax break.
Right.
And this tax break was taken away, supposed to get reinstated. There's a lot of things which are happening, but today not in place. Make program, which was supposed to be government and industry co-funding, has not, zero program till today.
Right.
So what industry is putting in is completely on its own.
Right. So that's another area of concern for us. But, Mr. Patil, it's been such a fascinating journey speaking to you. The sweep of the defense sector from Kargil to Operation Sindoor, Operation Vijay to Operation Sindoor, more than a quarter century. And who better than J.D. Patil, who has actually seen it all for 4 decades almost. But I just want to thank you for your time, your thoughts. And, these are big lessons that you have, outlined for us. And the simple takeaway from this would be that if you are looking at boosting our defense GDP, then you have to look at the JDP formula for defense indigenization. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Sandeep, and always thought-provoking. You have the knack of, asking the right questions.
Thank you, and I have very good friends like you. Thank you very much, Mr. Patil.
Thank you.